Welcome back here to the Mountain Morning Show. We're still continuing on the topic of back to school, and right now we're going to be talking to Dr. Scott Phillips, who's a chiropractor, here with some great tips for you to stay healthy as we approach this back to school first day deadline. How are you doing today?
Great, Diego. Thanks
Great
for
to have
having
you.
me
Great
on.
meeting you, Dr. Scott Phillips. Let's talk a little bit about some tips on getting ready to go back to school. So I'm sure as of this current moment, there's probably a lot of parents who are like, man, I can't believe we're about a week and a half away from that first day. I'm starting to stress up a little bit and I'm getting tense.
Yeah, you know, and that's really what it is as we get closer to these big life events. And I'm a father of 5. I got 4 going to school this year, and for sure we're thinking, holy cow, we've only got a few more weeks to get prepared. And you know, what I tell people is stress is really what puts us over the edge as far as our health is concerned. And so when we're all tensed up, we're all stressed out, those hormones that circulate through our body, not only do they make it so we can't sleep as well, we can't focus as well, but they can actually kind of damage some of the parts of our brain that are involved in learning and memory and those types of things. And so for me, it's all about trying to decrease that stress response in our body. I think it starts sometimes with us as parents to not kind of bleed that stress onto our kids, right? Instead of freaking out and saying, oh my gosh, we got to do all of this, it's more get excited for it, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, we get to go school shopping. I don't know if I've ever said that as a parent. Hooray, we get, you know, but hey, let's get a new backpack. I have a couple of little ones, and that's all they want, right? It's a brand new backpack. But you know, any other stress that comes on, I think about a sleep routine. You know, sometimes the night before school, we're up too late or the kids are too excited, and then we try to wake them up in the morning and it's not happening.
It's not a good thing. And I think it's great to hear that these things have direct connections to our, not only our performance, but you know, our overall health, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so if you're waking up with a bad sore back as a parent, you may have a little bit of stress that you, as you said, you're bleeding on to your child, which they carry on into school. Maybe they're not able to focus as much. Big test coming up on Friday or something, it's important to be able to stay focused. So having some of these de-stress kind of methods to kind of relax as we head into the school year is a great thing to have there. So kind of just keeping on the calm side of things, trying to be as easy as possible, right? But once we get to that first day of school, let's talk about some tips there as well. I know for me as a student looking back, one of the things I remember my teacher constantly hounding not just me, but pretty much everyone in my classroom about was, sit up, you're slouching. Your posture is horrible. You're going to regret this when you're older. Your back is going to hurt really bad. And when you're 12, you're like, I'm loose as a goose right now. I'm fine. I don't hurt at all. But I promise you, once you start to age a little bit, you'll start to feel that kind of tension in your back for sure. Let's talk about ways that people can maybe improve their posture that'll help them in the long run.
You know, it's a great point. There's a whole lot that happens in our posture, especially when we're in school. The new thing that's kind of been the last few years is what we call tech neck or tech posture.
I see.
My son and I were running down the road. We saw a middle school bus drive by, and we looked over, and he actually commented to me. He's 11 years old. He commented to me and said, "Dad, every single person on that bus was bend over like this on their phones," and that's a whole new realm of postural issues. And what happens is we bend forward. It actually takes some of the oxygen away from our brain, and so it kind of stretches the spinal cord a little bit, and we don't get as much of the blood flow to the brain. And so we're seeing that issue also with focus and things like that. And so it's as easy as paying attention to it, right? We kind of curse our parents and our grandparents and our teachers to tell us to sit up straight because it's not comfortable. We don't really want to. But it's really such a key thing. And there's even apps on your phone that'll kind of show a red light if you're down too far, and so you bring it back up. All our computers need to be up here. And really the first few days of school we'll feel it, right? Because in the summertime we're running around, we're standing up, we're not really in that posture very much. So when we get home that first day, that second day, man, we are sore. We're kind of like, oh, I need to be able to stretch back. As we go throughout the other days, we don't get that feeling quite as much. So we don't want it to be a regular thing where we feel like this is comfortable. And so we as parents can look at it, we can look in the mirror, and if there's any type of issue that we feel like, man, you know, whenever I talk to groups, I ask, who here has great posture? Not many people raise their hands because we can see that, oh, you know, I'm not sitting up or standing up as straight. And that's really where a great visit to the chiropractor can help a ton, because we can get those muscles start to relax, those joints to move a lot more flexibly. So you naturally
sit kind of more in an upright position. I think that's an important thing is years and maybe even months, you know, weeks sitting in this kind of position, it actually, as you said, it starts to transform the way your muscles operate, the way that they actually are formed in your body, correct?
Exactly.
So I know that this can be a hard thing to do, but I promise after a week of doing it, your muscles actually get strong enough to where this is kind of your normal sitting posture. So that's a major thing. What are some tips that we can do throughout our day? Stretching a little bit, maybe rotating, getting up and walking around. What are some things we can do?
Those are all great things. Honestly, there's this 20-20-20 rule that I've heard of, that you don't want to sit longer than 20 minutes. After about 20 minutes of sitting, you should take about 20 seconds and about 20 good breaths is what I've heard.
Stand up.
And so you kind of stand up, you maybe walk around. Now in class, that might look a little weird. Teacher might say, what's going on with Johnny there? Why is he standing up? And so it might just be an in-between class thing during school. But definitely, you know, as we're going throughout our day, just thinking about standing up as straight as possible, just keeping those shoulders back. The stretch that I like, it's not really even a stretch, but it's just taking big, deep breaths. And as I breathe out, bringing those shoulder blades back and just trying to really keep that upright posture. The nice thing is it actually makes you look more confident. It'll, you know, people kind of notice you walking down the hall, say, hey, what's that guy so happy about standing up so straight? And so it can be really beneficial in the social game as well.
That's excellent. Let's talk about your practice. Where are you located and where can people find out more information about?
Yeah, sure. So I'm just on Main Street in Heber City. It's 150 North Main in the Clock Tower building. I also have a one-day-a-week office just up in Camas here in Summit County. That's on 60 North Main Street, and I'm there every Wednesday. And so people can call my phone number at 435-654-1626. That's my cell phone. They can just get right to me. Ask me any questions they have about their health, their stress, their posture, any of those things. And I'm glad to visit with anybody that I can. And if chiropractic can be a good help to them, I'd love to try to help them out.
And I promise you it can. I've been to a chiropractor before, and I know just the benefit that you can get from going and seeing one. Dr. Scott Phillips, thank you so much for all the great tips.
Great to be here.
Great conversation as well. Head over to HeberLifestyle.com for more information as well. Definitely encourage you to head into Dr. Phillips' office as we approach this great first day of school. I promise you'll be less stressed as you head in the doors that first day. We'll be right back with much more right here on the Mountain Morning Show. Don't go anywhere.